When you become so real that the things you discover in yourself frighten you, it's probably one of the most undescribable, or at least fitting the word interesting, moments ever, ever in a human life. And some people go their entire lives without this. That's fine. They just stay busy. They don't have to think about these kinds of things. They don't have to get philosophical. They primarily just do. And there doesn't have to be a reason. That's what I've found at the end of the journey as somebody who went out for a reason and had to have a why to everything I was doing. Well, it's very interesting. It's just really interesting that I didn't end up coming back to the same place as I began at, because that place was different when I came back. It was different in the sense of I was even more sure, but I was a lot more accepting. Today, I've been polishing up my book where I finished it yesterday. After 8 years of work, of collecting information, of really being present to the things I could be in life, how I could give. I took a big sabbatical from work for a long time. And I guess more of a traditional kind of 9 to 5 job work that I was doing. And, I found that there's just a lot I didn't know, that I should be a lot more humble with my life, that I had set myself up all wrong, and that's because I didn't know myself, or after letting go of the blame, my family didn't set me up for that to be able to be successful. In fact, I'll make a comment on this, that a lot of people try to protect other people, like a mom or a dad saying, oh, don't do that, don't do that. Stay in the zone where I know you're safe, not where that person will be fine when you're gone, just the place that's okay for you while you're still alive. And that's just completely debilitating. And I had to go find out about that really debilitating stuff in my life by trying things where I ran into those barriers, that unwillingness to put the hard work in, the procrastination, the lack of truth and honesty in my life, the inability to connect with people, the shame, the anger, then the forgiveness. And then once that forgiveness and understanding happened, the floodgates opened. I was able to really start moving forward in incredible parts of my life. Just sections of my life were completely unnoticed because I couldn't notice. I couldn't see people beyond the image that I had put them in. I started, after I worked on that, I started being able to see people for what they showed me instead of what I wanted to see. It's incredible. Absolutely incredible. Now, as I've finished my book, I've built a number of communities all over the world. And I've really grown as a man, like really, really grown into the best father I could ever be, best husband. I couldn't even imagine being this good of a husband. I couldn't even imagine it. It's just absolutely incredible. Shocking. Just completely shocking how present you can become in life. And a lot of people are going to tell you that they need something before they can go. And sometimes they're right. Most times they're not. We need a lot less in life than what we actually do. That's not a good way to say it. We convince ourselves that we need things that we don't. And I know you know what I'm talking about. The stuff in the storage, you don't actually need it. The extra food, you know it's not healthy for you. Got to have this thing on your resume, or got to have this type of a card before you can hand it out to other people. I get it. There's a ton of fear. There is a ton of fear. And for good reason. For good reason. I thought, oh man, these people are just cowering away, and they have got no reason to act that way. Why do we even act that way? Well, when you go to places like Bulgaria and Romania, and you see people who are really struggling out in the middle of nowhere with no infrastructure or really government to help them out. You go and marry into a family of people who have learned how to survive out in the wilderness, essentially, right off the grid, right on the edge of the grid, actually. And you come to respect them to a level that you didn't know was possible, that there are real fears, but we can actually do something about it, is what they showed me. We can truly do something about it. That's something that is hard to do. And speaking of, trusting your gut is very difficult at the same time. It's very difficult. Today, there was a little bird in the road, and I passed by him. He was obviously injured, had broken his leg. And I drove about 1 block, turned around, got some paper out, right? Because birds are pretty dirty. I'm going to just pick them up with some paper that I have. And I just listened to my gut. Parked, got the paper out, went over to help him. He actually flew underneath my car. I had to sort of chase him out to get him off of the road, because I didn't want him to get run over. So I got him off the road, which is just a terrible, terrible place to be, especially for a little sparrow like that. And I just started trusting my gut. When I feel like, hey, I want to give my wife a kiss, or I want to say something nice to my partners, or even people who would never even respond to me, who have some problem with me. I don't even know half of them what the actual problem is. I just go say something nice to somebody, because it's nice to be nice. I can honor myself in that way. That's incredible. Increíble. You know, it's really nice where you're able to finish your book of 8 years, right? You've been working on it for 8 years, collecting information, having those experiences, putting it all together, organizing it. Yeah, I've done that for many years now, and I'm pretty good at keeping disciplined, having a bunch of stuff organized and sorted over a very long period of time, especially if it's a complex thing. That's even more motivating for me. And to go to church yesterday, find out that I was actually full of rage because we were going back to a church that I hadn't been to in 20 years, maybe even longer. And after what happened to my family and how my parents handled the divorce and those kinds of things, I obviously was very angry, but I hadn't found that in myself. I hadn't gone back and had these experiences. And to understand where that was coming from, to widen my perspective, to not be able to walk out of the church the same man he walked in as, to then find the inspiration mid-service to finish writing your book. Oh my gosh. That's incredible. There's a big thing out there in the universe. All this connectedness, all of this tension, all of this thing, these strings that bind us together, God, the gods, the everything, the nothing, whatever you want to call it. It's absolutely incredible that this is here. And here's an interesting thing. I don't know if this is in your faith or others, but comment if you want on what other things are out there like this. See, Jesus died on the cross for our sins. And when I see other people, I think, oh gosh, this is somebody who Jesus died for. That's an incredible thing. The hardest thing was giving that to myself. It's been much easier to give it to other people. Hardest thing to do is give it to myself because, one, I know all my own strengths and weaknesses. I know all my mistakes. They're hard to forget. The hardest thing with other people is just forgiving. So if I can do that, and as a note, I'd check out a video called There's No Justified Resentments by Dwayne Dwyers. And if this makes it into a video, I'll comment on that below, or I'll put it in the description of what that awesome video is. But just remember, there's really no justified resentments across the board. You can let the snake bite you. Things are going to happen in life. You got to get out there. But it's the poison that kills you. It's the things that we hold on to. You'll hear that in the video. Or take my word for it here. I've gone down this road. I've healed myself. It does work. I hope you're having a great life. I really do. I'll talk to you guys soon. Reach out.